Doudou is a sweet little girl with both British and Chinese roots. She grew up in the UK, raised on fish and chips like many kids here. But everything changed after one trip back to her family's hometown in China. She fell in love with Chinese food, especially steaming bowls of noodles. Since then, British meals have not excited her at all. All she talks about is going back to China, where not only the food captured her heart, but a special friend did too. Now she's getting ready for a very special reunion with that same friend who is coming all the way from China to visit. Not long ago, when Doudou's mom told her they were going back to China, she jumped with joy. She could hardly believe it. Even before boarding the plane, she was already imagining herself riding the subway in Shenzhen. Kids really do have the funniest ideas.
你坐上地铁了？深圳坐地铁好吗？我问你啊，你刚才喊的是夜。
Knowing she was going to China, she happily started trying on clothes, saying she wanted to wear her favorite color, pink. She put on a pink outfit and hat, added a pair of sunglasses, and looked just like a little celebrity. Her dad and grandma really hated to say goodbye, but the one who missed her the most was her little cousin, Arlo. Every time Arlo saw a plane flying by, he would seriously ask his mom, "Is Doudou on that plane?"
To China.
Bye.
On an airplane.
Hi, Arlo. I'm at the airport now, just boarding. Hope you have a nice time. 4 weeks without me. I love you.
What Doudou struggled with the most on this trip was leaving her dad behind. Because of work, he could not go with them to China, and at the airport, she could not hold back her tears. Her dad knelt down, gave her a big hug, and gently told her they would see each other again very soon. To cheer her up the moment they landed, her mom took her straight to one of the most famous hot pot restaurants in Chengdu. And even though she's just a kid, she loves spicy food. She dove right in like a little hot pot fan. When they arrived at the hotel, Doudou was fascinated by the service robot. She called the front desk to ask for a bottle of water, and to her surprise, it was a robot that answered the call. Even funnier, it told her she was very cute, and that totally made her day. The journey had been long, but the moment she saw her family, everything felt worth it. Her grandparents had even prepared gifts for her. She happily put on a little dress and twirled around the room again and again. The only thing that bothered Doudou in China was that her dad was not there with her. As the days went by, she missed him more and more. To cheer her up, her mom took her out to buy lots of toys and even brought her to the arcade to win stuffed animals, hoping to take her mind off missing Dad. Without Dad's help, it was hard for Mom to keep up with her endless energy. She did everything Doudou asked, took her roller skating, and even signed her up for an art class. But none of it could stop her from missing her dad. Whenever she drew pictures of him, her little face would light up with joy. To help fill the gap of her dad not being around, Doudou's mom arranged for a little playmate. Her name was Muan. The two girls hit it off instantly. They shared meals, played together, and whispered silly secrets like only little girls do. Like two tiny stars, they laughed, jumped, and stuck together all day long. With a friend by her side, her appetite even improved. She started dancing around, pretending to be a roast chicken. She just loved performing. "It's so much fun here," she said. "I don't want to leave. I don't want to say goodbye to Muan." Doudou even began dreaming up a funny kind of life, spending a day or two in the UK, then flying back to China for a few more. She said, if only Dad could come to China too, everything would be perfect. Her little mind was already working out how to convince him to move here. As she talked, she frowned seriously, deep in thought. It was so adorable. Everyone couldn't help but laugh. Time flew by, and it was almost time for Doudou to start school back in the UK. Before leaving China, she hugged Muan tightly in the yard. The two promised they'd meet again next time in the UK. Back home, her dad had already cooked all her favorite dishes.
Good shot.
Good
Let me
catch.
get that next one.
Glad Daddy was a goalkeeper.
I was a goalkeeper. I used to play football.
难度升级。
And I'm not even a toaster.
After dinner, he even taught her how to bake bread, saying she could make it for Grandpa, Grandma, and Muan when they come visit someday. While slicing the freshly baked bread, Doudou said seriously, "I want to build a house out of this bread so all the people I love can live together." Her little mind was always dreaming up ways to bring loved ones close. But once back in the UK, she started to feel out of place, especially during meals. Her classmates were eating happily, but Doudou had no appetite. All she craved was a warm bowl of Chinese noodles. Not even a full table of British dishes could excite her.
我不想吃这个，我想吃中国的面面。勇敢迈出一步，太干了。
可是我们现在回英国了，我们不能次次出来都吃中餐呀，你要习惯一下，可以吗？你可以习惯一下吗？
那就把我送回中国吧。两个。
Doudou finally took a few bites. She pouted and said, "Just send me back to China. I miss Chinese food." Watching the other kids enjoy their meals, she looked puzzled and muttered, "Why do they think this tastes good?" Even at family gatherings, she would ask, "Do you like Chinese food or British food better?" She was always excited to recommend trying real Chinese dishes, and whenever someone said they liked carvery, she'd shake her head with a firm, "That's not tasty." Of course, everyone has different tastes, but Doudou had grown up eating her mom's Chinese cooking, so she naturally loved it more. Like many kids, she wanted others to agree with her, and since she loved sharing, she would excitedly tell her friends all about her favorite Chinese foods. It wasn't just about missing the flavors of home, it was her way of expressing joy, hoping others would love what she loved too. Not long after, Doudou heard a piece of news that made her jump with joy. Muan was coming to the UK. She was over the moon. She quickly changed into her favorite dress and got all dressed up to welcome her best friend. When the two girls saw each other, they hugged tight, laughing nonstop. She showed Muan her room, then they ran outside to see the flowers in the garden. Hand in hand, they dashed across the yard to the grassy field where she always played with her dad. They swung, rolled around, and laughed until their cheeks hurt. Later, both families went to their favorite restaurant, hoping to introduce Muyan's family to classic British cuisine. But at the dinner table, she found her perfect ally. Muyan also didn't like British food. Her dad couldn't help but laugh. "Come on, it's not that bad." Doudou had always been a picky eater, and now she had someone to back her up. After the meal, they visited the dining hall at Oxford University, a must-see for any Harry Potter fan. She and Muyan ran around the grand, historic hall, wide-eyed with excitement, as if they had just stepped into Hogwarts. Good times always pass too quickly. Before they knew it, Muyan and her family were getting ready to head back to China. Doudou hugged her tightly, knowing deep down that even though they lived far apart, their friendship would always stay close. After Muyan's family left, Doudou was getting ready to start school. She was pleasantly surprised when the school sent out an email inviting children to wear traditional hanfu to celebrate Chinese New Year. The school's warm embrace of cultural diversity made her feel seen and respected. On that day, the classroom was filled with kids in bright hanfu outfits. They learned to make paper cuttings, painted opera masks, and listened as the teacher introduced Chinese New Year traditions. She proudly shared stories about Chinese noodles, hot pot, and her adventures with Muyan. She realized she wasn't alone. Being both British and Chinese meant she could celebrate the best of both worlds. That sense of belonging made her more confident and eager to share. She said she wished she could bake a loaf of bread big enough to carry all the people and things she loves. We send our heartfelt wishes to this sweet little girl. May she always feel loved, always feel at home, and always carry the joy of childhood wherever she goes.